Hey yo, salute to all my subscribers. Special shout out to everybody else passing through. YouTube, what's good? Alright, so I came through to talk to y'all a little bit about a peaceful space equals a peaceful place. This is not going to take too long. I just wanted to go over a few things. For those of you who are in relationships right now that might be drama-filled, stress-filled, just want to go over a few things with y'all. So again, to repeat, a peaceful space equals a peaceful place. If you're not at peace in your relationship, if you feel like the partner that you're with causes unnecessary strain, unnecessary stress, and make things harder than they have to be because they're not pulling their equal weight, these types of things are going to create an unpeaceful space for you. Unpeaceful space is your mental balance, your spiritual balance. When these things are thrown off, there are certain physical manifestations that will come into play that will make any relationship, even the best relationships, extremely hard to deal with over time if those things don't change. Men especially, I can't speak for the women. I'm pretty sure this goes both ways, but men especially, anyone that we choose to be with, spend our time with, get into a long-term relationship with, we want peace more than anything. We don't want to feel like we have to chase after someone and do the right thing. We don't want to feel like we have someone that we have to constantly be repeating ourselves again and again to, because men in those situations will lose interest very quickly. And then that's where you start to see things like cheating or men distancing themselves, not paying attention to their partner, not wanting to really be around their partner. And it's really the littlest things that can trigger it. Because men are very sensitive, but it's also things that happen, over time. It's a slow build, and I think there are a lot of misconceptions about men and how we really operate on an emotional level. In a lot of ways we're very logical. In a lot of ways we don't show emotion when it comes to certain things, but we do react when we feel slighted emotionally. If there's no peace in your relationship, you don't have that space where you can kind of go into yourself and just relax and feel like, there's no unnecessary pressure in your relationship. You're not going to be able to really thrive and be the partner that you should be able to be in a long-term committed relationship. And when I say a peaceful space, when I say no pressure, when I say no unnecessary stresses and drama, I don't mean the normal everyday responsibilities of a relationship. I'm not talking about the men who run from their responsibilities. I'm not talking about the men who, try to avoid doing the things that they're supposed to do to keep their relationship afloat. I'm talking about men who are trying to do the right thing in multiple aspects of their lives and in their relationship, and feel like they're alone in that effort. And when they try to address certain issues and explain certain things to their partner, they end up a lot of times with rebuttals that really don't make sense or even apply to the situations that they're referring to. And men do very poorly with those types of situations. A man who has, his mental target set and his responsibility scale calibrated properly, and he's trying to do the right thing, and he's trying to progress in the relationship and progress in life and do whatever it is he's trying to do to keep himself complete and whole as a man. And he has the partner that he's with who just seems to always stir up drama, unnecessary things, even things that could be considered normal, but just the way that partner goes about those things can cause a lot of stress and pressure and unnecessary tension in a relationship setting. I've seen it happen to many people, and I think what is focused on is the outward expression or the results of that man being tired, being worn down. And so when women or society starts to see things like cheating or men not paying attention or men, emotionally cutting themselves off from the relationship or not contributing emotionally to the relationship, I think automatically men for the most part are written off as not being emotionally available, when really there's other things going on more often than not. But there's always exceptions to every rule. But for the most part, I think most men want to be emotionally available for their partners that they choose to be with. But women create a lot of stress, unnecessary pressure. That's really the main theme of what I came through to talk to y'all about. Me personally, If I can't be at peace within myself, with the partner that I'm with, the whole relationship just turns into almost like a prison sentence. Nobody wants to be in a relationship where they feel like they're serving time. It's not beneficial to anyone. It's not conducive for me to live a healthy, happy life, and it's not conducive for any partner of mine to be in a healthy, happy situation. Because if someone's balance is thrown off, if someone is, not able to live their best life and explore different things that they want to explore, then that's, with a person like me, that's going to spill over into other things, and I give everybody the same energy they give me. And that's just it's always been the person that I've been. And that's going to be the person that I continue to be, because it's just who I am. So yeah, just to cut this short, but just to reiterate, peaceful space equals peaceful place. And, if you're okay within your mind, if you're at peace, within the environment that you're subjected to day by day, if that space is peaceful, then you will be able to properly manifest the things that you need to in order to express that. And if you're not, then you're going to express things that probably are not going to be, the best things, and those things won't reflect you in your best light. But it doesn't mean that you're the issue, men. I understand that there are a lot of stereotypes, and there are a lot of things that give us a bad reputation overall in our relationship. But I see a lot of good men out there. I see a lot of good men in all of you. And do not let the woman that you're with, especially if she is a woman who does not create peace but creates drama, does not help you calm the storms of being a man, especially a young black man out in this world these days. If she does not help you calm those waves, if she does not bring serenity to you, and every time you turn around, she's rocking the boat, she's causing unnecessary drama, you might want to strongly consider getting out of a situation like that. Because that type of situation, the worst thing you can have to deal with as a man going out into the world every day, and especially a black and brown man going out into the world every day, is to already have a chip on your shoulder, because home is not peaceful. As men, and especially as black men, we have to have a peaceful home before we can succeed at anything. Before we even go out into the world to face the many obstacles that are already against us, before we go out into the world to face, the climate of us having to be twice as good as, and for us having to go out of our way to dispel stereotypes against us in society, to have to go home and deal with more stress, more pressure, and not be able to just relax and be in our own space and live freely. You don't want to live like that. You don't want to have a partner like that. And if you do, and if you can, try to fix it. Try to get that person to see clearly that they're not contributing properly to you being your best self. And if they refuse to see that, then you just may have to cut your losses at a certain point. Let me know what y'all think about this one. I don't pretend to know everything. I just know what I know. See ya on the next one. Peace and love.